Welcome to Tea and Games. I'm back at the dining room table again. Back at the playing table again. If you're new to the channel, my husband and I are casual weekend board gamers, and that's pretty much it. And I just talk about what we're playing. As those of you who have been following the channel know, the filming has been a little erratic because I've not been able to be in here at the table because we had kitchen renovations done, and that encompassed the dining room because we had flooring put in here and some paint, and yeah, it was just kind of a mess for a while. And because the flooring surface has changed, we may have a little reverb on my voice in here, so we'll have to see how this works out. But anyhow, we're back at the table. Since the kitchen renovation started, we have played 4 games. That's it, 4 games. Actually, that's 4 games, actually 5 total plays. We got in. And because they worked on Saturdays, the only day we had off was Sundays, and the dining room table wasn't even always accessible all of those Sundays. So we got in 2 games of Botnik, which I've mentioned on the channel before. It is a fun little fast 2-person tile laying game. Short, small box tile laying. That's pretty much all you need to know. It's fun, and I really like the artwork. And we got in 1 game of Quiddler. This is not Quiddler's original box, surprise, surprise. It comes in a box that's like this, and it's very thin, and the deck is divided, because this is a very fat deck, into, but I just didn't like the box size and shape. I like a deck that is deck shaped. So I got this plastic box and put in here. I think I mentioned that on the previous video, so I can kind of grab and go with Quiddler, and it's sturdy. And I mentioned Quiddler in another video because we had played it and Splendor at our friendly local game store. We have now gotten our own copy of Splendor as well as Quiddler, but we have not yet played Splendor. So here's a question. If you have a game that you have played elsewhere, but you have not actually played your own copy of it, does it still count as an unplayed game? Let me know in comments. I'll be interested to hear what you think. But getting back to Quiddler, when I mentioned it in another video when we first played it, I got a couple of things wrong. The starting number of cards is 3, not 4. And the ending round, everyone has 10 cards. And I was also wrong about the diphthongs. I said it had diphthongs, but actually, technically it doesn't. It just has a few cards that have double letters on them, which is handy, don't get me wrong. The ones that are double letters, and that is my new dishwasher talking to me, that high-pitched beeping you may have heard. I hope it doesn't do it again. I'm still getting used to things. I've got all kinds of stuff in that kitchen that beep at me now. But I love the new kitchen. Anyhow, the cards that are double letters are, CL, ER, IN, QU, and TH. Now you have singles of all of those letters, but you also have, like, I think a couple of cards of each one. And the interesting thing that I discovered is, see, I thought they were diphthongs at first because that first game I played, I only got CL and TH. The interesting thing is that the points are not the same depending upon whether or not you make the word using individual letters or the double letter card. For C and L, C is 8, L is 3, for a total of 11, and CL is 10. For the TH, T is 3, H is 7 for a total of 10, and the TH card together is only 9. So in each of those, if you use the double letter instead of getting it like individual letters, it's a point less. That's not too big. For I and N, I2, N5, total of 7, and the IN card is the same. For ER, E is 2, R is 5, for a total of 7, and the ER card is the same. But where it gets interesting is the QU. The Q card is 15 points. The U card is 4, but the QU card is only 9. So, yeah, a difference between 19 and 9, depending upon whether or not you get that QU the hard way or not. So I thought that that was interesting. Anyhow, we like this, and we are playing it here at home. And we're also playing, oh yeah, I also got a Quiddler scorebook, which is handy. We're also still playing Micro Macro Crime City. We've only got 4 more cases. Did I hold up 4 fingers? Yes. On the screen, my fingers distracted me on the screen over there, and it looked like I was only holding up 3. We've only got 4 more cases left. But we've kind of cooled on it a little bit. Even before the home renovation stuff, we were not playing it quite as often. But I feel like that the novelty and the excitement is wearing off a little bit. But we've only got 4 more to go, and we still do enjoy it when we play it. And we did something a little bit different when we played it this past weekend. Let me see if I can find my numbers here. We had part of a raised bar thing taken out, and that left us with a big slab at the end of the kitchen counter that goes into the dining room area off to my right here. And I looked at that and I thought, wow, that's really big. I bet we could play a game on that. That would be a good size for that ginormous cityscape thing for Micro Macro. So this past Sunday, we spread it out on there, and it works really nice because we can walk like 3/4 of the way around. We don't have to move any chairs to be able to get to the table. I don't know, that worked out pretty well. To give you some idea how big that slab is, it is 43 inches wide. Side to side, I guess you might say, and then it goes like from right there to where it meets the kitchen wall is 54 inches. So yeah, it's big. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, we might be able to have a game day with, say, a bunch of people and have 2 tables, with the second table being the end of the kitchen counter, that giant work area there that spans between the dining room and the living room. So that's something to think about. Definitely a possibility. We also, this weekend, got in our first play of Tenpenny Parks, which is designed by Nate Lenhart, and the artwork is Vincent Dutroy or Dutois. I'm not absolutely sure how you say that because I did not take French in school, and I believe it is a French name. It is a lot of fun. I waffled on whether or not to get this when I first heard about the game because I was just immediately sucked in with the artwork. I mean, the artwork is just, it's fun, and it's really well done. And carnival theme, we didn't have a game with that theme, and we are very much themers. We like ourselves a good theme and something that's really immersive. And I will say that about this. This game is very, very immersive. And I credit a lot of that to the artwork because it really sucks you in. The gameplay is incredibly smooth. I wasn't sure about the gameplay when I first heard somebody talking about you do this and then you do that and you move this here, and I thought, that sounds like a bit of a mess, but I guess they just didn't explain it well. Something that I am well known for doing, which is not explaining things well. And that's another thing. If you hear me talk about a game here, the whole idea of me talking about games is I'm just trying to let you know what I thought about it and if it was fun and what I liked and what I didn't like, and give you just kind of some vague idea about the game. And if you think it sounds interesting, go and find somebody who can actually explain it to you, because that is not my forte. But the gameplay is really very, very smooth, and the artwork is completely immersive. And so, well, actually, that's a little bit of a drawback because, well, first of all, Robert, my husband, he is really good at polyominoes. I mean, and this has some polyomino tile placement as you build out your parks. And you don't do it the way you do most polyominoes. They're not snugged in there next to each other. You have to place them point to point so that there's space on the board and you can expand the boards. And I think that's really neat. And he said he was having trouble adjusting to that whole not placing the polyominoes the way you do in a lot of other games. But boy, he just shellacked me in this game. He beat me 40-28. So, I mean, but that was a first play. And here's the thing with first plays. We get weird and sometimes like shockingly low scores on first plays of games sometimes. And then what happens is the next time we play, the numbers are better. And the next time we play, the numbers are even better. And the next time we play, at some point it plateaus, you know, but our numbers tend to get better with multiple plays. And I certainly hope my numbers get better. I think I made some iffy choices because, and I blame the artist totally, because everything just looks so cool. I feel like I made some choices that were maybe not the best choices because I'm looking at them and I'm going like, ooh, look, I gotta have that one. Isn't that neat? Yeah, and it's like, could I really pass up the Kraken Whirl? Do I have someplace I could put the Kraken Whirl on this board? Yeah. Yes. I guess, no, it won't fit there. But I could take out a tree. And it's just, and I feel like that I kind of got all caught up in the, and that is neat, and that is neat, and I put this little thing here, and would that fit in there? And I just kind of want to like put all these cool things on my park. And I'm going like, I know I've got to like generate income and get points on the different tracks, thrill, awe, enjoy, and pick up some VPs, which I call them victory points, but they actually stand for visiting people, because you've got to have people visiting your park to be the most popular park and win the game. So anyhow, I feel like I made some iffy choices because, I mean, we just had so much fun with all of the polyominoes that spelled out different areas of the theme park. And this got us talking about theme parks that we went to when we were a kid too, like Astro World or Six Flags Over Texas. And all of those theme parks had different areas, and each area had a different theme or was supposed to represent a different type of location. And this is the same way. It's got like a Wild West area, and it's got an aquatic underwater area. It's got a fantasy area and a science fiction spacey area. And you can place them anywhere on your board. And sometimes I had a bonus card. My bonus points were for getting one of every different thing, or 5 different ones, I think it was. So, I mean, you don't have to like place them in discrete areas or a thing like that, but there's a kind of thing that just makes you want to go, ooh, I'll take that and I'll take that. And you can't have them all. You can't have all the good polyominoes. Let me see here. Tenpenny Parks. It blocks off part of the kitchen. Oh, and another thing, since the renovation, notice we got our third wall Scrabble game going here. So yeah. Got the Scrabble thing going. Let me see here. I can show you some of the polyominoes, which I did show on the previous video, and now I can't get the bag open. Isn't that just typical? Moon Launch, Mammoth Valley, Volcano Tower. Ooh. There's more here. But wait, there's more. We have Gold Rush as well. And, and the labyrinth tile came up. It's got a hole in the middle, and we kept trying to find some place to put that labyrinth, and we kept messing it up. It's like, oh, no, and now I can't do it. I finally did get the labyrinth very near the end of the game. And there's nothing special about the labyrinth tile except that it was up on the carousel, and I needed one of everything. So, it's like to make my bonus points. And even with a bonus, yeah, I still really stank at this, but I really had fun playing it. And I mean, if you've got a game that's got a theme park theme and that's got amazing artwork and all of these different nifty, fun-sounding little attractions, the Kraken Whirl, I'm going to give the Kraken a whirl, then, I mean, a lot of the game, and the important part of the game is to have fun, and this game is a lot of fun. And it's definitely a family weight game, and it's easy to learn, it's easy to play, gameplay is really smooth. It has thrill, awe, and joy tracks that you gain points on those different tracks, which can be converted to victory points or to advantages in the next round of the gameplay. So, yeah, that's kind of a thing, but I think it can be converted into victory points. Now that I said that, I don't remember. There's been a lot of stuff, home renovation stuff, and it is finished now. Since we played this game on Sunday and I'm recording this, I don't even know what day it is. It's Tuesday? Yeah. So my brain is like Swiss cheese or a sieve or something with a whole lot of holes in it that information keeps falling through. So just kind of cut me some slack. Don't be mean in the comments. But the thrill, joy, and awe tracks, the one thing they don't do is they do not, no matter where you are on them, they do not adequately represent the amount of delight that we had playing this game. I mean, we're moving up or back one to get an advantage or something, and we're moving our little tokens up the thrill, awe, and joy tracks and jumping ahead of one another and everything. But the real thrill, joy, and awe is just in the gameplay itself and all of the nifty pieces. We just had a lot of fun playing it. And this is a keeper. We like this a lot. Tenpenny Parks. If you like Vincent Dutoit's artwork, and he does a lot of game artwork, and the whole idea of a theme park appeals to you, and you're looking for a game that is kind of midweight, but on the lighter side of midweight. I mean, nobody's going to hurt themselves learning this game, and it is very easy to learn. Rodney Smith over at Watch It Played has a how to play video on it. It's very good, but here's the other thing, and this is important. The actual rule book is also good. I mean, this is not one of those games. We did, at the very beginning of it, have the rule book open next to us to make sure that we were doing all the little steps, like go through, okay, we do this, and it's the worker step, and it's this round, and I place my worker, it is worker placement, and you place your worker, and then round ends, and we do this. So we did have that laid out just like, and I had it laid out. Robert used the player aid, which is also really good. I completely forgot about the player aid because I had the rule book left on the table, so. But anyhow, it's easy to learn, and it's easy to play, and it's fun, and gameplay is really smooth, and it is very immersive. If you like games that have a theme that is a fun theme that you can really kind of get into and just enjoy, this is a good candidate for that. It really is. And let me see if I have covered everything, and it kind of looks like I have. So it has been good, finally, sitting down at the table and talking with you again about what we've been playing, even though we have not been playing too darn much. But we have had a lot of fun. Some good stuff here. Quiddler is basically a deck of cards like that you can just stick in your purse or bag or something like that. It is just a really fat deck of cards. You can play 1 to 8 players, and this is basically Scrabble in a box. Scrabble as a deck of cards. Except that you, at the end of every round, you pick up all the cards, so you don't end up with this weird Scrabble thing I get where I have X, Y, Z, Q at the end of the game, you know. Oh God, at the end of the last game of Scrabble we had, I had just a horrible combination of consonants. And I'm like looking at them going, wow, can I do anything with this, with anything that's on the board? And the answer is no. But with Quiddler, because at the end of every round, you pick up all the cards, shuffle them really, really good, add up your scores for that round, and then you deal 1 more card than the previous round to everybody. And you go again. Making words, either a single word or multiple words, and there are bonuses. It can play 1 to 8. So this is kind of a good grab and go game, which is why I put it in this plastic box. You do have to like add up your score at the end of every round. But if you like Scrabble, and you're just not always going to have a Scrabble board with you, or you may have the app, but the people you're hanging out with may not have the app, Quiddler's a kind of nice alternative there. And that's pretty much it. Did I say what the tea today is? The tea today is Yorkshire Gold. And it is good. And it is good to be back at the table. It is good to have a kitchen renovation that is done rather than in progress. And I will indeed see you next time, a little bit more regularly since everything is done, although we're still moving in. We're still unpacking boxes and washing things up and putting them away and losing them because we can't remember what cabinet we put them in because the cabinet arrangement has been different. So yeah, it's still a little crazy around here, but we will be playing more games and we will be here again soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff. And I'll see you next time around the table. Bye.